Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Today we're talking about the great Equifax scam. Yes, I said Equifax. Even though the title down there says Equifax. No, there's nothing about it. Let me tell you about the art outside of this, just so that we don't have any slight misunderstandings. Every corporate executive of this country, or in this company, needs stripped from their titles, all their assets need seized, and throw them in jail for the rest of their lives. Take those assets, put them in a pool. Take the company, close it down, dissolve it, grab all the assets, put it in a pool, and then divide those assets up among the American people. That's what needs to happen to Equifax. Let me tell you why. So, of course, if you do not remember, back in 2017, there was a massive data breach which impacted literally every American adult. The undocumented immigrants may not have been included in this. They might have been. I don't know. We don't really know. But anyway, nearly every American is part of this. So after 2.5 or so years, just under 2 years, I'd say. I think this happened in September of 17. So just under 2 years later, the report finally comes out, and they're paying a fine of, it's not a massive fine, $700 million is what they're paying. $380.5 million is what is dedicated towards a, quote, restitution fund, of which every American which was impacted gets $125. With a caveat. Did you know that? There's a caveat. You can't just go, oh, give me my 125, yo. No, you can't. So, of course, looking at the background, they settled earlier this week for this piddly fine, which, by the way, $700 million. I don't know what Equifax annual revenue is, but it's into the billions, I believe. This is a massive company. This is a slap on the wrist. All right. So $380.5 million is a consumer restitution fund, which gets divided out between the people. So you'll get approximately $125. So there is a website you can go to where you can check if you were affected by the breach and fill out a relatively simple form that lets you specify which claim you feel entitled to. Thankfully, it's not operated by Equifax, but that is the settlement administrator, JND, which handles these types of sprawling class action lawsuits and corporate bankruptcy cases. So, of course, you can go here and access this thing. So you can file your claim today. Let's file a claim online. I'm not going to enter any real personal data. I just want to have a quick look. So, of course, there's a lot of information there I have to enter. Of course, if you're filing some claim, you're going to have to do that. I don't really have much information or much concern about that part. All right. On the website, you can also check whether you've been affected by the Equifax breach by inputting your last name and the last 6 digits of your social security number. You'll get a simple "Our records indicate your personal information was impacted by the incident" message. If you're indeed infected, which infected is a better word than affected, I think, which nearly, like I said, it is every American adult. From there, you can head back to the main page and file a claim. The claim process is incredibly simple. You can also do so online or print out the form and mail it in. You can also request that JND mail you a form as well as download a form on behalf of a minor. The form asks for some simple biographical information like where you live, when you were born. From there, you can request either a $125 check or a prepaid card or free 3 bureau credit monitoring. To claim the money, and this is the little catch. Watch this. To claim the money, you need to already have credit monitoring, and you must have it for another 6 months after you claim the file. Are you kidding me? Number one, credit monitoring service is useless. It doesn't do crap. Nothing. Number two, you are going to have to go into this stupid company, this other company, and hand them a whole lot of data that they don't have about you to sign up for a credit monitoring service, which some of them are free, some of them are not. If you have the credit monitoring service, which is useless pile of horse manure, then you can get your piddly $125. So a company that I had nothing to do with, that I have never engaged in business with, that I have never provided any permission or any consent in any way, shape, or form, took up all of my data, intentionally left it insecure. We're talking this breach happened 6 months after a patch for a critical Apache patch occurred. They leaked all the data. They're going to give me this piddly amount of money, which amounts to nothing. But only if I have used the most useless service in the history of the world. Guys, a credit monitoring service doesn't do jack. All it does is it collects your data, it gives it to yet another company, and then you got to sit there. Now, some of them, like I said, are free, some of them are paid. And then this company is going to tie into even more tentacles, into more stuff that they may or may not have already had. For what? For a little check and a fine that is, I believe, less than a month's income for the business. No. Okay? There are other companies that do the same thing. Now, in my personal opinion, every one of these companies needs shut down. I've never given them permission to collect and harvest and store all this data on me. And I bet you haven't either. We are not losing anything in the industry if we shut them down. They are grossly negligent. They are fined nothing. And every American who is impacted, which is literally every American, will get peanuts. But only if you have a credit monitoring service. If not, they'll provide you a free credit monitoring service. What does a credit monitoring service do? Well, when you go and file out credit, many of them check with one of the credit bureaus. If they actually check with a credit bureau, you're going to get a text that somebody was looking at your credit bureau report. That's it. Doesn't actually stop anything. Doesn't stop identity theft. Now, an American, you are titled, if you go to, I think it's freecreditreport.com or something like that. Look it up, make sure you have the right URL. You are entitled to a copy of your credit report every year from each of the three bureaus. So you can get 3 free credit reports a year. You have to pay for more than that. If you are on top of that, you are not going to be a hit by this. But in all honesty, you shouldn't be borrowing money. And what you should do is the best thing you can do is freeze your credit. Now, this usually is a fee. I think now they're kind of becoming free. I don't remember the status of all of them now. But the best thing you can do is freeze your credit. Because if your credit is frozen, nobody can do anything to it. So it's like, here's your difference. You leave your door wide open with a little, laser that counts the people going in. Beep, beep, beep. Someone entered. Versus a giant frozen door that nobody can get into. What's better? Now, yes, freezing your credit means you can't take out credit either. Good! We are drowning in that crap. Stop putting stuff on debt. Use cash. And tell these credit companies to go jump in a lake. That's why I think Equifax, they need to be shut down. They need all their assets dissolved. Every corporate person here needs all of their assets seized, throw them in jail for the rest of their life, and distribute the funds to the American people without prejudice. That's what needs to be happening to these guys. This crap that they're doing is meaningless garbage. It doesn't do anything. I don't often ask you to spread a video far and wide, but take this video and spread it very far and very wide. People need to be outraged about this. People need to be going down through the FTC protesting out in front about this. We need to be demanding this company be shut down for gross negligence. We need to be demanding actual personal liability of the entire executive team. They need to go to jail. They need to have their assets stripped, just like Bernie Madoff. Take it all from him, distribute it all, what's left to everybody, and lock him up for a long, long time. Then we will clean up corporate America. Then we will not have these things. And while we're at it, let's just close down all of these types of services. There is really no good reason for them in this day and age of constant hacks and information.